The path to self-mastery and the will to power. What is Friedrich Nietzsche trying to tell us? Imagine you could be the author of your own life, unbound by expectations, fears, or societal norms. What would you create? Friedrich Nietzsche, one of the most influential thinkers in the history of philosophy, challenged us to do exactly that. His ideas about the will to power and self-overcoming are timeless tools for unlocking our full potential. And in this audiobook, we will explore Nietzsche's revolutionary worldview and discover how it can inspire us in modern life. Ready to become who you truly are? Let's dive in. Who was Friedrich Nietzsche? Friedrich Nietzsche, born in 1844 in Röcken, Germany, was a philosopher far ahead of his time. Initially a theology student, he turned to philosophy and became a professor of classical philology at the young age of 24. However, Nietzsche's life was marked by challenges, health issues, misunderstandings of his works, and an era not yet ready to embrace his revolutionary ideas. Despite this, he left behind an intellectual legacy that continues to shape philosophy, art, and culture today. Works like Thus Spoke Zarathustra and Beyond Good and Evil challenge us to question old beliefs and reinvent ourselves. Nietzsche was not merely a thinker, he was a guide, leading us toward an authentic, self-determined life. What is the will to power? Another central aspect of Nietzsche's philosophy is the will to power. But what does he mean by this? For Nietzsche, the will to power is not merely a desire for control or domination, but a deeply rooted drive to express oneself and actively shape life. It's about realizing one's potential, surpassing boundaries, and not passively enduring life, but consciously crafting it. To Nietzsche, the will to power is a creative force. He challenges us to avoid remaining victims or mere observers, and instead take active responsibility for our destiny. This requires overcoming not only external obstacles, but also internal conflicts and doubts. A clear example of this idea is his thought: "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." This statement demonstrates that the will to power not only propels us forward, but also provides resilience during challenging times when we have a higher goal to strive for. The concept of the Übermensch. One of the central ideas in Nietzsche's philosophy is the concept of the Übermensch, often translated as the Overman or Superman. But who or what is this Übermensch? Nietzsche does not describe it as a perfect being, but rather as an ideal, something we aspire to through the process of self-overcoming. The Übermensch embodies the ability to transcend one's weaknesses, fears, and societal norms. Nietzsche challenges us not to settle for mediocrity, but to realize our full potential. This involves leaving behind outdated values and creating new, authentic ones. It is a radical act of self-creation. For Nietzsche, the path to becoming the Übermensch is not an easy one. It demands courage, self-discipline, and a willingness to continually question and redefine oneself. Self-overcoming, the key to a fulfilling life. Nietzsche does not see humanity as a finished product, but as something constantly evolving, a transition between what we are and what we could become. For him, self-overcoming is the central process for unlocking one's full potential. It is about recognizing one's weaknesses and actively working to transcend them. As Nietzsche puts it, man is a rope stretched between animal and Übermensch, a rope over an abyss. This path, however, is not easy. Self-overcoming means facing life's challenges and stepping out of your comfort zones. It requires courage to question old beliefs and confront personal fears. Imagine you have a deep-seated fear that prevents you from pursuing your dreams. Instead of suppressing this fear, Nietzsche challenges us to face it head-on and emerge stronger from the confrontation. The goal is not perfection, but growth. Self-overcoming is a lifelong journey, often accompanied by effort and sometimes suffering. Yet it is precisely in these moments that the potential to reach a higher self lies. As Nietzsche famously said, one must still have chaos within oneself to give birth to a dancing star. Self-overcoming is not only the path to personal growth, but also the key to true freedom and an authentic life. How to apply Nietzsche's ideas in everyday life. Nietzsche's philosophy is not an abstract theory confined to books. It offers concrete approaches to shaping our lives. The first step involves honestly questioning yourself. What are my true values? Am I living my life according to my convictions, or am I being driven by external expectations? It takes courage to ask these questions, but only by doing so can we discover what truly matters to us. Another essential approach is self-overcoming in small steps. You don't have to change your entire life at once. It's enough to regularly try new things, embrace challenges, and consciously face your fears. Perhaps you're afraid of public speaking or hesitant to start a creative project. Nietzsche would say, this is precisely where your potential for growth lies. It's also important to create your own values. Instead of blindly adopting societal norms or expectations, think about what makes life meaningful to you. Ask yourself, what principles do I want to embody? What goals are truly worth pursuing for me? An inspiring example, imagine someone stuck in a job they dislike for years. One day, they realize they've been ignoring their true passion for art or craftsmanship. Despite uncertainties and resistance, they decide to pursue this path. This is the practical application of Nietzsche's philosophy, finding the courage to actively shape one's own life and continuously evolve in the process. Clarification, clearing up misunderstandings. Nietzsche's idea of the Übermensch is often misunderstood, sometimes even intentionally misinterpreted. It's important to clarify, the Übermensch is not a justification for selfishness, narcissism, or the belittling of others. Nietzsche never described the Übermensch as someone who seeks to dominate others. Instead, it is about overcoming one's own limitations and creating an authentic life based on personal values. The philosophy of the Übermensch is not a free pass for reckless behavior. On the contrary, it demands a deep sense of responsibility, not only for oneself but also for the world we help shape. A true Übermensch does not strive to dominate others, but to master themselves, becoming a model of inner strength and wisdom. A practical example in everyday life could be, someone who remains calm during a conflict demonstrates more strength and self-control than someone who loudly insists on having their way. Nietzsche's Übermensch, therefore, is not the one who outshines others, but the one who overcomes themselves and leads a fulfilling, harmonious life. Nietzsche teaches us that we can be the creators of our own lives if we are willing to question ourselves, overcome our fears, and establish our own values. His philosophy is one of courage, growth, and freedom. His message is, he who wants to rise high must learn to look down into the abyss. The path to self-overcoming is not always easy, but within it lies the chance to lead an authentic and fulfilling life. What does it mean to you to become who you are? Have you experienced moments where you overcame your own limitations? Or are you currently facing a challenge that is making you reflect? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Let's discuss Nietzsche's philosophy together. In the next audiobook, we'll dive into the teachings of Laozi and Taoism, another profound source of wisdom to help us better understand and navigate life. Subscribe to the channel to stay inspired by new philosophical insights and to support us in creating more content for you. Until next time, stay courageous and become who you are.